Yo, what you doing?
It's Sunday morning, so I'm gonna have myself some breakfast.
And beer.
Well, pubs open somewhere around the world. Well, not at the moment. So, I had a couple of people asking me how to make hollandaise sauce, and I've had somebody asking me how to poached eggs. So I'm gonna do poached eggs and hollandaise sauce. So, for the hollandaise sauce, you'll need a pan with 5 or 6 black peppercorns in it. You need a small pan for melting your butter. You need a heat-proof bowl, sieve and a whisk. You'll need roughly 150 grams of butter, half a shallot, although I've got an onion. I'm putting garlic in, but that's not in the recipe, but I'm putting garlic in. A bay leaf, some real vinegar, white wine, cider, whatever. If you want, you could put a wee squeeze of lemon juice or something, or plastic lemon juice. And you'll need an egg yolk. So I'm going to get cracking with that. So put this pan in heat. About 50 mils maybe of vinegar. Bay leaves in there. You want to reduce that down, so I'm just going to. I mean, you should really finely chop this onion and garlic, but you're sieving it out, so it doesn't matter. It's just the reason for finely chopping it is that you get the flavour out of it quicker. It doesn't have to be perfect though. Now, the classic method is to do this over a bain-marie or bain-marie. I ain't doing it the classic method.
Explain what that is.
The bain-marie is a bowl over some hot water. So you'll find that most butters they've got it measured out, so should use unsalted butter, but this was cheaper, so. £150 grams is roughly that. Oh, it's a lot of butter.
That's
So
not
now-
150, is it?
Yep.
That's a lot.
So keep this to the side just in case you need more. I've also boiled a kettle, but you need to melt this butter gently. This is my method, okay? Now I'm going to do this in real time, because I'm like that.
What do you say about people that would be a bit anxious about the amount of butter that you've put in?
Butter's good for your health.
Yeah,
Sugar's bad for your health, butter's not.
yeah. Sugar is the enemy.
Well, I don't know, coronavirus is the enemy at the moment. Right, you'll see. I've reduced that by quite a considerable amount. So turn the heat off of there. Get to sieve that. I know it seems a waste of an onion and garlic or whatever, but it's really just for flavour.
Looking for the best music for your people. Then you
You can
should
squeeze that through. Now give it a wee whisk to cool it down. I'm going to put a wee bit of lemon juice in,
And the license cover.
or not. Okay,
There's some lemon here.
it's alright, don't need it.
Okay.
Right, so the butter's melting away nicely. So, got 1 egg. I'm not going to use this box again.
Where'd you go?
Okay, 1 egg yolk into the bowl, minus the shell. And start whisking it straight away. Now I've got this on really low, really low, okay? Now really you should clarify your butter and separate all the shit, but hey ho. Now a bain-marie would be over a bowl like this, cooking the eggs. I do it this way because I just find it a bit more foolproof. Obviously, if you want your butter to melt quicker, you cut it into smaller pieces. This is a good opportunity to let this cool a wee bit. So, if you want your bowl to not slip, you could put it on a clout. Right. This is awkward because I'm right-handed and this is filming from my left-hand side. So, warm butter rather than over a bain-marie is my preferred method. Can't beat a beer for breakfast. Now I'm going to turn this off because it's one of these and it's going to stay hot. Okay. Right. So you get your whisk, keep moving, come in about, I'll show you. And you want to drizzle this very, very slowly.
Some good wrist action there.
Yeah, years of practice. You know, I was a teenager once. Sometimes still am. Now you don't want to get the milk solids in, really, but it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Hollandaise is a bit like mayonnaise, but without oil or mustard. And I've got a feeling I'm going to need more butter for this, but you need to have a slow stream, really slow stream of butter, or it'll split.
My team looks great.
I think I'm going to need some more butter, so that's okay.
You choice. I love it.
I think it's the type of butter's got a bit more milk solids in it. It's cheaper butter, but that's okay. See it start to come together. Now if it starts to split, that's why I've got the boiling kettle. You can always put in a dessert spoon of boiling water. It shouldn't split if you do it this way. But because it shouldn't doesn't mean it won't. So it's starting to get trails in it now. This is one of the emulsion sauces that chefs have to learn when they're training. Hollandaise, mayonnaise, béarnaise sauce is hollandaise that's got tarragon in it. Paloise sauce is hollandaise sauce that's got chopped fresh mint in it. Now you can buy packets of hollandaise, I'm sure. But really, once you see how easy this is, despite the risks, you'll probably never buy the packets again. Because although it's a bit of a faff, it's not difficult.
And the taste is immense.
It is absolutely fantastic. The only problem with these emulsions, unlike mayonnaise because it's cold, it stores in the fridge. There's mustard in mayonnaise. The only problem with these warm emulsions is you've got to keep them warm. God, that's going to take even more butter, I think. I think it's down to the milk solids. because the butter we used the other day was the inexpensive French stuff. You never know though. See, if you put too much in and don't stir it quick enough, that's what it looks like when it splits. Now if you were to do this over a bain-marie, it would thicken quicker because the eggs are cooking. But because I'm using warm butter, warm melted butter, instead of room temperature, it's coming together okay. I think it's gonna need more butter. That's okay. Put in a wee bit more. Give us a wee taste. What? Butter's quite salty though, so I won't need to add any salt to this. Get in there. If you wanted, you could probably use a stick blender. Or an electric whisk, of course. Yeah, it's getting there. Probably by the time I get this butter in. Turn that off. Yeah. So a better whisk would probably make a difference. The bigger bowl, but hey ho. Poor workman always blames his tools. Not suggesting that I'm a poor workman, of course. Kind of was though, was I? So yeah, you are better if you use unsalted butter. But hey ho.
And expensive butter.
Yeah, the better butter does make a difference. It does. There we go, I'll just pour it all in. That's more like 225 grams of butter. Wow, for one egg yolk. Every egg's different, that's the thing. Now, I'm gonna put some hot water in here. Just to give it a clean out. Hot water from the kettle into the pan. And I'm just going to sit that bowl over it. But that's the sauce ready. That is Hollandaise sauce. So I'm going to crack in. I'm going to crack in pepper because I don't care if it looks speckled. But that's the whole point of putting the peppercorns in beforehand, is so it doesn't look speckled. But that's Hollandaise sauce. Kind of wanted to coat the back of a spoon like this, so it doesn't run through. Oh, beautiful. Right, I'm gonna get ready for poaching the eggs and get all my other shit ready, and I'll come back. Right, for the poached eggs, I don't need this, but I find it helps. Get a bowl or a jug of iced water. Now this is water that's just come up to a gentle boil. There's nothing in it, especially no salt. You shouldn't put salt in water for the poached eggs. because what happens is the salt destroys the egg white and it all falls apart. Oh, we're getting an advert in our music. So I'm going to put some bacon in a dry pan, just to half of this. Right. So, for your poached eggs, make sure you've got fresh eggs. I like to crack them into a cup. Pour them in gently. You don't need to swirl the water about or any pish like that. It's got to be a gentle poach. One of the reasons for putting it in a cup as well is if you've got a rotten egg, which you generally don't find these days, is you'll find out before you put it in the water.
Just one egg for me.
Okay. I'd have done the duck egg if I thought that was coming. But oh no, well, I can keep that in the fridge. Now you can poach eggs well in advance and you can keep them in iced water in the fridge overnight. Oh, you beastie. And I'm just poaching that straight from the duck egg after I said to put it in. That's another good reason to put it in a cup, because you don't burn your fingers. We're literally 3 minutes. You don't want your water to get any faster than that. Don't worry about all these little bits floating about. The sauce is still okay. If you find the sauce is going to split, like I say, you can add a wee sip of boiling water to it and just give it another whisk. We're going to have ours with some rye bread, which is gluten free, and some spinach, but I'll come to that.
And
In with the bacon, yeah. I dare say you can come back instead of watching that. But yeah, you don't want the eggs to get any faster than that. So, after 3 minutes of gentle poaching, straight into the cold water. And the reason for that is it stops the cooking process. There's the duck egg. Duck eggs are easier to poach because the whites are firmer. Now don't chuck this water away because you'll need it again. But if you want to salt your eggs, now's the time to salt the water because the whites are cooked. I'm just going to cook that bacon on both sides. I've got my bread toasting and then I'm going to get the spinach in. I'll show you that, so we'll come back once I'm ready for that as well. Right. So, when the bacon's crispy, transfer it to a plate with some kitchen paper. Now, believe it or not, although there's a lot of salt and fat in this, it's quite a healthy, relatively balanced diet. So wash the spinach goes in the pan. A twist of salt, doesn't need much because we've used the bacon juices. What's really good with spinach is a wee sprinkling of nutmeg.
Oh.
And I mean a really wee sprinkling of nutmeg. Some black pepper. If you wanted, you could use more butter in there. I want to, but I'm not going to. Got my rye bread toasting. Balls warming slightly in the oven. Turn the heat of the water off. Now you would, if you were in a restaurant, you would get all the stalks off of these bits of spinach, but we're not. Now, there we go. Eggs go back in the pan. Very gently, does it? If you wanted to trim your poached eggs so that it have tails on them, now's the time to do it. Before you put it back in the pan. Okay. It's a wee bit like eggs Florentine, I suppose. It's a good way of getting the juices from the bacon, I suppose. You could drain your spinach into something. I've turned that off at the wall because you should never stick a metal implement in a toaster. But because we don't have a grill, I'm having to get my tongs in. Here. Right. Eggs should be suitably warmed up. Put them on your kitchen paper. On a cloth, whatever. All that's off. Bit more paper just to absorb it. And we'll start the portion up. So, I'll get this out of the way. Two eggs each. I could have put the spinach on the bottom. That's what I meant to do, but hey ho. Doesn't really matter. Spinach on top. Hollandaise. Spooned over that. And then bacon over that. Move this out the road. Happy Sunday morning.
Mwah.
Happy Sunday morning, crappy cooking. Some more beer. Almost forgot, just the proof of the eggs being runny. There we go. Happy crappy cooking.